So, because it is World Cup season, I like to share a football story with you, just to mask the fact that I don't quite yet finish that episode, if not haven't started that episode on Tiding as yet. But being that this is season 1, is a get to know me season, I've just made that the mandate for this season. And so being that it's a get to know me season, I think I should share also something embarrassing that happened to me related to football. And as you can see by the title, it will get pretty embarrassing. So, my team is England for sure. If you're watching this after the World Cup, congrats to me. If you're watching this before, you can always jump on the bandwagon. I've been on the bandwagon for 8 years now, and I don't see myself leaving unless Raheem Sterling not in England squad anymore. But without further ado, let's get right into the episode, right? Welcome back. Yes, so this story took me about 15 years to come forward and tell. It happened to me while I was in high school. You heard my story already about playing football as a youngster. I didn't make the transition into the high school team. I played football interdivisionally. I don't remember what they called it at the time, but it was class against class. I was the best goalkeeper ever. But this story has nothing to do with me playing. It more has everything to do with me, being a fan of football. At the time, I supported Brazil. God knows you can't ever catch me supporting Brazil in the future. But of course, I supported Brazil because they had stars like Ronaldinho. They also had Ronaldinho, and I think they had two other players, Ronaldinho and Ronaldinho, yeah? So, as a big fan of Ronaldinho, I think he is without a doubt the best footballer in the world. I think Messi second, and whoever else. Cut that. Raheem Sterling is the best footballer, and then Ronaldinho, and then Messi. Anyways, So the story goes a bit like this. Barcelona was my side, never again. And I was watching their Champions League match. I don't know if it was the first leg or the second leg of the semifinals or quarterfinals. I don't remember anything about it. That's how embarrassing it was for me. And all of my brethren them were gathered up in the library. Everybody, all the football fans gathered in the library. Whoever do like Ronaldinho and Barcelona and versus whoever like whatever other side was playing at the time. I don't remember which side it was. I don't know if it was Man U, I don't know if it was Real Madrid, I'm not sure. I could easily just look it up and have the next side, but no other side important in this story than Barcelona. And so, lo and behold, the game going on. First half, spicy, to what I can remember because I never left the room. Room jam-packed, pack up. Unfortunately, he's a bagger man, but at that time you don't care. So he's a bagger man because Barcelona versus whichever other side. And so, 45 minutes gone, don't remember the score. Don't care to remember, don't care to look it up. Just focusing on the story, right? 45 minutes gone, game hot, match hot, bladder full. And I said to myself, because growing up, say you're in a public setting or you're on the transport or something and your bladder full and you don't have nowhere to go, you need to know how to control your body. So I learned from an early age how to control these stuff. So halftime, bladder full. If I get up, I lose my space. So I say, I'm not going to get up. About 5 minutes gone into the halftime break, and I say, It's more serious than sit down and hold it and wait until everything finish. I looking around and everybody talking about the match, everybody excited, and so I'm there just saying to myself in the interaction, you need to at least check if a bathroom open. I checked the library bathroom lock, everything locked, everything to my knowledge locked, staff room bathroom locked, everything locked. I grew up as well where you do your thing in public, you go bathroom if you want to use the bathroom. You don't go bush, you don't go wherever. You do your thing in the bathroom. Right? Respectful and whatever. So, lo and behold, I say I'm going to, since everything locked, match soon start back, probably like 30 minutes left before the match start back. Because I'm running everywhere to find this bathroom, this easily accessible bathroom on this campus that have tons of bathrooms, but apparently all the bathrooms seem to be locked. I'm running up and down stairs as well, so that jerking on your body with a full bladder, it take a toll on you. So I say, alright, match soon start back. Feel like I can hold on to it, yeah? Hold on to it some more. Rush back to the library, run upstairs, see that the match start back, and I say, alright, just start back, never miss anything. Big man Ronaldinho being touch a field. Don't remember what the score was, as I say. I just know that this was a hot match. So I just know that everybody tune in, mountain going on, cuss out going on, everything going on. Barcelona, to the best of my knowledge, winning the match, or at least the match tied. And so 90 minutes coming up, pressure. So while pressure on the screen, pressure on the bladder. While you want your team score, you want to go bathroom. So you're in this dilemma where, and at this time, I was a fan. I was a serious fan of football at this time. Complete fan. Engrossed in Barcelona, Ronaldinho. And so I couldn't miss Ronaldinho playing football. And as well at that time, getting access to football wasn't as easy as today. So where today you have data, you can stream it on your phone and all of those things. Back in the day it was crazy. Back in the day, to get football on your phone, you'd have to have probably like $100,000 worth of credit to get football, to stream football on your phone. I don't think you could even stream because, 2006, them time there, probably like 2 megapixel camera was the highest quality phone at the time. Back when dinosaurs and everything roaming the earth. So, coming up to the end of the half, and you have to sit down with your leg crossed and you have to do everything for kind of take your mind off of this pressure that you have for about 45 minutes. So, match seeming like it going to go for Barcelona. So, you're super excited, happy. And match finish at this time, mountain going on. You're still involved in the mountain because your side win. To the best of my knowledge, Barcelona won. Because I never felt bad, I felt happy. So I know that, whatever was distracting me was positive, in my favor at least. And so, the room started clear out now because match finishing. And I started on the search again for another bathroom, for more bathrooms. Because I still never want to be the guy that, use the bush. You're holding it, searching, and you're just, at this point, you're searching, and, you're looking dim. The day looking bleak. And I just saying to myself, alright, serious times seemed like they're going to call for serious measures. I finally set it in my head that, okay, going to use the bush because I'm surrounded by hedging, but the hedging is by the staff building or the registry building. And so I said, alright, I can't move any further. If I move anymore, you're going to jerk up yourself, and that jerking going to unleash everything. So I start focus now on pulling my belt, because the pressure was now that intense that you have to pull your belt to relieve that pressure on your bladder. And so I'm trying to pull the belt, trying, but you have to be so delicate. The funny thing now, but not back then, was that I couldn't just zip down the pants because the zipper was weird. It was weird. You had to pull the buckle in order to better unzip the pants. And so, don't ask me why. I don't remember, I don't know how, but I just know I couldn't pull the zipper. Probably the zipper did stuck as well, probably. It's a strong possibility. And so I know that I would have had to pull the buckle of the belt, then pull the pants, and then probably yank out the pants. Buckle wouldn't pull, zipper wouldn't pull. It was a disaster. I went right into the bush, and I just saying, God, why? Why me? And then I just, you just let go. You just let go and let God, you know? And there it was. Warm fluids, massaging your legs, down to your socks, into your shoes. And I just stood there. I stood there for what felt like an eternity, because I wanted to watch my star score and to watch my team win. I found myself soaked in my own urine. The positive I took from it was this was after school, so not many people would have been able to see what happened. And I believe I was going to get a ride from my mother as well. So I knew it was okay. I knew it wasn't that bad. Mine are in khaki, and you know when water touch khaki, the khaki become darker. So you know if you walk past anybody, you're going to know that your pants wet. So I had to get myself out of that scenario. Around the registry building, to the back of it, close to the back, just going around it, was the nurse's office. And I didn't think of it, but the nurse would have been there. So the nurse's office as well had a bathroom. So imagine me walking there. This is fresh. My legs just starting to cool down now because, you know, that warmth from the liquid finally left, and I was now left with a cold, wet suck onto my pants, and had to now approach this lady that I've never been to. The whole time I was in high school, I only really interacted with this lady probably once. Obviously probably like 5 times, but this was probably the first or the second or the third time out of those handful of times. And to go to her with that story now was crazy. Like, I was probably like in 4th form. What? I was in 4th form. And to go to her now and say I I check in with you, me see if you have a pants. She's like, what? Why is it that you need a pants? I say, I had a little accident, you know. I had a little accident. I say, what happened? Because I guess she couldn't see the accident, so I had to say it, you know. I say, I will wet up myself, you know. And she said, oh, come, so whatever. I said, I couldn't find a bathroom, and I was watching the football and I couldn't find the bathroom. At this time, I never know how to omit certain things. I think it was the embarrassment that caused me not to be able to omit what actually happened, but I was just gushing out everything that happened. And she was like, oh boy, I have a shorts, I have a pants for you. This pants was like super tight, super tight. And so I changed it off in the bathroom that was open, that I could have gone to, and change off and say thanks, everything. Carry the pants, bag the pants, put it in my bag, I believe. And come to think of it, I don't think I kept that pants. I don't think I kept that pants. Come to think of it, I think when the belt buckle couldn't open, as a teenager in high school, you didn't have accidents with your pants. So every teenager that wear khaki pants or any kind of pants throughout high school must rip up one pants at least for the year. So this pants, I believe it was torn in the crotch, and I believe it was poorly sewn up. But I believe, when you think back strongly enough, I think what I did to try to urinate, not on myself, was I think I ripped open the crotch from the stitchings that were done to try to repair the pants. I think I ripped it open, but I couldn't free myself in time. I think by the time I ripped it open, that pressure that I was under, I think that's when my body gave up, but I was still trying to fight for life. And so, thinking about it, the reason why I bagged the pants and later threw them away wasn't just out of embarrassment, but it was because the pants were not in the best condition to wear anymore. Pause. In editing this video and in life in general, you have these occasions where trauma tends to be buried deeply in your subconscious or somewhere in your brain. And in editing this video, when I heard this section, my memory went back to what actually possibly happened. When you want to use the bathroom so badly that you have to grab onto, grab it so that no form or nothing can squeeze through. Sorry for the crassness, but that's what I was doing. I was trying to unbuckle the pants while grabbing on to down there, because hope did gone. Hope did truly gone through the window. If I pull the buckle, I still wouldn't be able to pull down or pull aside or nothing, any of the garments that would help me to relieve myself. So the pants probably never tear up in the crotch, but as soon as I let go and let God, it was downhill from there. Definitely not blaming it on God. But, you know, you think him could have helped you a little bit, help you out, bad situation, But yeah, that's what happened. As soon as I tried to pull the buckle and it was futile, I eventually had to just let go, and it all came tumbling down. Adagia, it all came tumbling down. Adagia that, but let me not bother. Let's get back to the video. Because funny thing is that I wore back that pants, but I wore that pants, the new pants that I got from the nurse. The new pants that I got from the nurse, I wore it for the rest of the school year. The instructions I got from the nurse was to wash the pants, bring it back to her tomorrow. But who going to go back to face the person that know the most embarrassing thing about them? So I avoided that lady for the rest of the year. And I wore the pants. Anytime I would see her on campus, I would try to avoid her, because I wasn't going to go back to face my demons. At the time, at least, she was. Yeah. So I wore the pants, threw away the other pants, and on that day, when all that warmth was massaging my leg down to my socks, down to my shoes, onto the soil, I made a vow to myself that I'd never ever watch football like that ever again. I would never be so captivated by football ever again, because this situation could have been so much worse for me, where it could have been during the school day, mine year, I would have found a bathroom and gotten to use a bathroom already. But it could have been so worse, so much more worse. All boys school, you yourself, you're not going to hear the end of it. And nobody knew about it except for the nurse, which was crazy. That was as incredible, just how embarrassing it was, but yet so confined until today. But yeah, that was a vow I made to myself. Never, ever, ever watch football or entertain football that much that you neglect your well-being for it. So after that, I don't know if Barcelona went on to win the Champions League. Don't know any of that. And then I guess over time, you start, Ronaldinho leave the game. So football wasn't that much of a thing for me until give and take, the birth of Liverpool and Raheem Sterling, that partnership, that season when they almost won the league. Yeah, I've learned that Sterling was a Jamaican, Sturridge was a Jamaican, and at that time I was patriotic about stuff like that, so I would support Jamaicans like that, because the only reason why I went into football was because I met some of the reggae boys in 19. I met some of the reggae boys in 1997 or 1998, just before they were going off to World Cup. None of them were the famous ones that were involved directly in the World Cup, but I met them. That's how I learned about football, and then I watched the World Cup, and yeah, I got involved in football from that age. So I would keep up with Jamaican football, overseas Jamaican footballers like Ricardo Fuller, Baby Gardner. Anytime I would play FIFA back in the day, I'd play with either Bolton or Stoke City, just for that reason. So when Sterling came on the scene, I was like, all right, Jamaican, whatever. So that's why Sterling is the best footballer for me, because I think him overperform as a footballer. My opinion is that him not as good as, if people tell you that him like good or whatever, not as good as, some of the other footballers, but him commit to hard work, and dedication and him put him natural talent into playing well. So yeah, but if you ask me one-on-one if Sterling is the best, definitely the best person in the world, best footballer in the world. England is the best team because Sterling in the team. If Sterling go off on the bench, the match get boring. But eventually, again, I'm going to stop watching football. Unless, I think I would stop because, eventually Sterling going to stop playing. I do like football like that, to watch it. As I tell you in the previous episodes, I play it. I like to play it. So, yeah. But that was my embarrassing story. That was it. It was one of the worst days of my life. Most frightening, most embarrassing, and would never risk that ever again. But lessons learned from that day, like, make sure that your belt working before you put it on. Make sure you have a working zipper. Make sure you avoid the nurse anytime you wet your pants and you get a pants from her. Avoid her at all costs. Pretend like it never happened. Pretend like you don't know her. Because I think I interacted with her probably 2 times after that. I still never returned the pants. She never seemed to remember me, which was amazing, unless she was just being super cool by pretending like I never come to her before. But she interacted with me on the 2 occasions after that as new to the school. So yeah, it was crazy, crazy embarrassing, but yeah, something to look back on and enjoy. Because until now, not many people would have known that something like that happened. So yeah, that was most embarrassing time in my life in high school because of football, because I was a fan, because I never have no sense. But yeah, hope you enjoy that story. If you do, leave a like. If you don't, just smash that dislike button. Leave a comment if you so desire. And we'll see you in the next episode. In the next episode, because I know I'm not going to get that episode off the ground just yet, I would want to discuss my guilt. So next episode will be how guilty I feel after my parents died. The guilt that I was left with battling after they died. So until next time, this is Honestly Though, the podcast show, and honestly, this was one of the most embarrassing things that could ever happen to me in the past. Could ever happen to me. And you live and you learn. You stop supporting Ronaldinho and football in general, and you'll be fine. You won't wet yourself up in the middle of your school and have to go to the nurse to change your pants. See you in the next video. But remember, England is the best team. Raheem Sterling the best footballer. And thank you, who won the World Cup. That's easy. It was a walk in the park.